Hello guys. How are you doing? Baconstache here, and today we're going to do some reactions. Going to react to the fall of, how do you call it? Nikocado Avocado. Now I don't know a lot about Nikocado Avocado, but I think that watching this video will give me plenty of information about him. I do know that, like, he is very famous for being a fat eating ASMR, maybe streamer or something like that. Like, his rise to fame was because of how much he was eating food or something like that. Anyway, as the video title says, wait a second, I'll show you. Here it is. The fall of Nikocado Avocado. He is not that big like he used to be. And yeah, that will probably be a very interesting video to watch. It's by Cinnamon Toast Ken, a YouTuber I like very much. All right, so let's give it a shot.
Nick Avocado, a long-time trash fire on YouTube. We're going over him today. This is the third part of our Girl World series. We got Mary
Girl
with this.
World series? What do you mean?
We're going to look in more into Nick Avocado. And Nick has been one that we've watched several times in the past. And a lot of people are very familiar with his story. But we're going to go over it for some of you don't know.
What was it saying?
And a lot of people...
what? Can the real Nick please stand? Eminem reference. Okay, I see.
Very familiar with his story, but we're gonna go over it for some of you don't know, and kind of fill in some things that some interesting information that Mary's dug up. You know,
new information that should be interesting.
5 million subscribers, you can have a chair. Sticking to it. Do you want a chair?
What chair?
I'm quite comfortable standing. I'm fine.
Aww.
Now we got Nick Avocado. Can the real Nick please stand up? Because who is Nick? This is who he used to be.
Oh, yes. They are giving me some information about him, so I'm going to learn about Nick. All right.
Nicholas Perry. He was born in Ukraine. May 19th, 1992.
Okay, so he is a little bit older than me.
He's just a wee little baby.
He was adopted during his infancy by an American family, and he was raised in Pennsylvania.
Born in Ukraine, adopted in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So Nicholas had a natural talent for music, and he dreamed of being a Broadway star. He moved to New York in 2013, but he ultimately found the competition and ruthlessness of the city to be too much for him.
Yeah, nobody likes New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facts. If you love New York, then you're lying to yourself. And so I started vegan vlogging.
He founded vegan vlogging. Okay, he was vegan?
His YouTube channel in 2014 with his focus on veganism, and he abandoned it in 2016.
He would vlog about his lifestyle and showcase his relationship with his now husband.
Oh boy, look how healthy he used to be. Damn, that's not the Nico Avocado, whatever. Damn, it's hard to pronounce. Nikocado Avocado that I know. You know, everybody know him when he's fat. But I guess he became fat while getting famous on YouTube. Anyway, we're going to find out. So let's get back to the video, shall we?
Orlan. And then in 2016, he revealed his decision to leave the vegan lifestyle behind due to an overwhelming frustration with the community itself.
Oh, so he's not vegan anymore.
Do you remember? But at that time, it was when I was also making content, and veganism was such a big, big thing. Like
that's where the meme came from. That time was like, if someone's a vegan, they will tell you, kind of.
Yeah, there was a lot.
Yeah, that and CrossFit.
Yeah. CrossFit came later, actually. It was veganism for a while. Then CrossFit kind of got attached to it like a couple of years later.
There was a lot of pressure on creators at this time. Like, people would, dissect photos of their food, or like someone would say, "Oh, I ate this at a restaurant," and then people would look up the restaurant and look at the menu.
Not
and
vegan.
Yeah, it was really.
Oh shit! Yeah, people were very very vegan. This is not a good way to say it. Like, people who are, let's say, people who are obsessed about their veganism, they are the worst, man. I fucking hate them. They come to you and they treat you like you are a Satanist for just eating meat. So yeah, encountering these guys You don't want to encounter these guys, even in your worst nightmares.
Really intense. So Nikocado was like at the forefront of it. He was like, I'm a proud vegan. He met his
Like the majority of them.
husband all in through a vegan Facebook group. And then in 2016, he just reached the point of...
I'm done with these people. I'm done with New York. I'm done with the vegans.
Yeah. It was a hypercritical community, and it led to many
Go figure.
influence to feel like they were never vegan enough. So
That happens a lot on the internet with things that, I guess...
Even vegans inside of vegans community are shitting on each other. That's how brutal and how crazy those guys are. Just get it. Like, somebody's being vegan and other vegans are telling me, you're not fucking vegan enough. You need to, I don't know, ramp up your veganism. You need to go to a higher level. That sounds a little bit like religion, but we're not going to get into this.
I'll use the word like trend, but being a vegan was the trendy thing. But it goes from like teaching people about it to everyone that has now learned about it being hypercritical of everyone else and forming this toxic community. And then afterwards, it's like in a healthier place where it should have been to begin with.
it's like that video, the mole video, where one of them wasn't vegan and everyone else was vegan, and you guys reacted to it.
Oh.
And that one lady was like, well, Taco Bell's not vegan. And Sour Patch Kids, they're not vegan. And so these people who were vegans, they were not the moles, were being made to feel like, well, maybe I'm not a vegan then, because of this one really obsessive, hypercritical woman. Yeah, that was what was going on.
The vegan gatekeeping, and then like the hierarchy of being a vegan and all that.
Imagine gatekeeping for something like that.
You're not a
That's
real
crazy.
vegan. You're not a real vegan.
Those
Like,
aren't real
just
vegetables.
be like supporting each other, lifting each other up. That's actually, it's not vegan. Let me tell you why, instead of being like, ah.
Yeah, I believe every little effort to do something that's good for the world should be supported, rather than being seen as like, well, you're doing that, but you're also doing all these bad things. It's like, okay, well, start somewhere, right?
I agree with that. Yeah, you got to do something. Start making some sort of progress towards good.
So began the mukbangs.
The
Nick was one of the first, if not
mukbangs.
the very first men in America to make mukbang content.
Okay, so from the name mukbang, I can assume this is Korean. This is some obsession with eating food. I don't know exactly what mukbang is. I hope he will explain it. We'll see in a bit.
And the risk paid off. He was rewarded with a whole new community of viewers who quite simply loved to watch him eat.
He must have hated them vegans a lot. Just a lot. He's like, you know what? Screw you vegans. I'm going to eat all this food.
Yeah, I do personally believe that his drastic switch from veganism to eating large volumes of animal products on camera was a very deliberate FU to the obsessive vegan vigilantes that would criticize him.
We all talked about the slippery slope of that. It's bad behavior being rewarded and doing it more and getting to the point where he is now. But yeah.
Holy shit, this is so disgusting. I don't know why people love it. I feel watching other people eat disgusting. I swear, just looking at those thumbnails make me want to puke. Really. People who like watching other people eat. Why? Please tell me why. I don't understand it. I can't compute. Why would anybody enjoy watching other people eat? Like, watching food, I get it. Tasty food, I get it. But watching people, like, pushing food into their mouth and hearing them go, no, no, no.
Over time, the volume of food, his personality, and his body all grew.
Oh, wait a second. I need to figure out what mukbang is, because apparently they are not going to teach me. So let me Google it a second. Mukbang. Mukbang comes from the Korean word mukbang, I guess. I probably butcher it in pronunciation, but which combine the Korean word for eating and broadcast. In simple English terms, it could define the word eatcast. Basically, mukbang is just a fancy way to say somebody who eats for a whole stream or broadcast. Mukbang. How do you pronounce it?
Mukbang.
Mukbang. Is an eating show. Is an online audiovisual broadcast in which a host consumes various quantities of food while interacting with the audience. The genre became popular in South Korea in the early 2010s and has become a global trend since the mid 2010s. Varieties of food ranging from pizza to noodles are consumed in front of a camera. The purpose of mukbang is also something educational, introduction viewers to original specialties or gourmet food. Basically, this is how to make Baconstache Puke 101.
He began to play a character. His more extreme content moved onto other platforms such as Patreon and Only. He does have an OnlyFans. I forgot about that. Yeah, he's got an OnlyFans.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
You can see him. You can see old Nick Avocado do some things.
Holy.
Really want to go down that rabbit hole. But yeah, the Nick Avocado is definitely a character. If you watch the content, I mean, like here, just look at this this picture right here. It's 100%.
Oh,
He's got to put it on. There's no way that normal, I'll say normal person could ever think like this.
It's a character, Ken. There's no way I'm gonna believe a grown man took a turn in a chair while he was eating at the table.
With
I'm
his
not gonna
pants
believe
on.
it. With pants on.
So over time, his content evolved. His mukbangs became bigger and bigger, and so did his personality. The change wasn't immediate enough for people to instantly know that he was putting on an act. But with each new upload, the character of Nikocado became clearer. He was loud, he was aggressive, he would cry, scream, and supposedly shit himself on camera for his viewers.
Really? Shit himself on camera? Oh, man.
It was fetish work. And whatever he made that wouldn't through the YouTube guidelines was put onto OnlyFans, where his viewers could pay him to push the boundaries of his own self-comfort further and further until they no longer existed.
So the consequences, obviously, this is going to go to a bad place when you build a platform of people who want to see you just eat all the food and act the way that he did. But anyway, yeah, even though Nick put on a performance for his viewers, the damage he does to his marriage, body, and mind are real. There's no way to physically separate the character he's created and his actual self, which I don't know. I think as a viewer, you kind of lump them together. You kind of think that this is how, he's losing his mind. He's crazy. But I 100% believe that Nick is like just like everybody else off camera, but is kind of stuck in this cycle of he needs to make this content, make a spectacle of himself to make so he can pay his bills.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely probably. I'm assuming he hits the stop button, and then boom, he feels the weight come off a little bit.
He
just
stops
like
recording after he does a mukbang.
right.
He's like, "Oh God, I'm gonna go throw up," or
throw
something.
all this crap away. Yeah, and
Yeah.
then, I mean, but like you said, there are the consequences because you can't fake eating all the bad calories that he was eating and having all that damage to his body.
Right.
Is a real thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So he quickly learnt that outrage and scandal garnered him more views and money than he could ever receive by being nice, and so he lent into it. And he would continue to lean and lean and lean until he fell into a pit that I don't believe he ever saw himself pulling his way out of. While Nikocado is and was a character, that character resided within the body of Nicholas Perry. Nicholas could not remove his Nick suit once he turned the camera off. It
Really?
doesn't matter how much someone removes themselves from the character they're playing. When it is that deeply integrated into their real life, the damage will leak through.
I always kind of wonder, like people talk about the marriage thing, and I assume that his husband's in on it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They're playing along, they're playing together, they're acting together. But if you looked at me and screamed in my face and told all of your viewers that you hated me and uploaded that to the internet, even when the camera's off, when we're like alone together, sitting on the couch watching a movie, those feelings, like that intensity, like your brain just doesn't go, oh, he was just playing pretend. Like that, there is an effect.
Whatever, Mary, you wake up in the morning after having a bad dream and are mad at me, so I don't know.
It's
What
true.
did you say?
Like that, there is an effect.
Whatever, Mary, you wake up in the morning
Right.
after having a bad dream and are mad at me, so I don't know.
It's true.
But anyway,
The
I
brain
understand what
is
you're
a really
saying.
complex thing. So I really think they're able to separate themselves as much as they want and be like, sorry, hun, I was just, playing our game for money. But I really do, I think it's unavoidable that there is some leak through of the damage that does.
Oh, it has to be. Has to be some.
I think Nick is kind of the he's the example that all the current Twitch and Kick streamers use to get views, because this is they don't go to like the same extremes of eating and destroying their body, but it's all like outrage and it's all staged crap, over the top, because people will watch it, because streamers. Whenever YouTube makes a video, the video lives there, but streamers, they have to be streaming to be live. And the only way they have that longevity is through clips. And so they have to get these little moments of insanity clipped. And that's like their whole business model, what they're going for the whole time, is to get these crazy clips that the internet will share and will go viral.
Well, he's telling the truth, yeah.
Stream. And it's very similar to me in my mind on content creation to the stuff that Nick does. But then you got 2021 where everyone heard about Nick at this point because he had beef. He had beef with Charlie. He had a meat canyon video.
Really?
I told Felix
He had a beef with Charlie? This is something I need to watch.
about Nick, and then Felix made a video about him. And yeah, considered his best year,
Yeah, 2021 was Nikocado Avocado's best year. He had conflicts with PewDiePie, Penguin Zero, Meat Canyon, and just about everyone else that mentioned his name.
Wow.
With any breath of acknowledgement, Nick latched on and would squeeze out each and every drop of attention he could. During a few of these conflicts and collaborations, he, just for a few moments, let the mask slip. The great discussion as to where the character of Nikocado began and ended was coming to a head, and the viewers were making it known that they would like to see the real man behind the mask, and it would seem like Nick was listening.
Yeah, I talked about this before too.
It seems like he was listening. Okay.
He understands the feedback, and so when people would be like, "Oh, the real, I wish you would stop acting like this," and he would like kind of like bait it and like a carrot on the stick, like, come on, come on, look into it more. I think that's on purpose, which I still think is. I mean, obviously it's real. Because you do not act like that all the time unless you are just insane. But yeah, definitely on purpose, in my opinion. And we can even fast forward a little bit to like 2023 too, to when him and Oopaville were making videos together. Like they had like a little podcast together, and they were doing collaboration content, and they seemed like they were getting along very well. And I'll take credit for this one. We made a video about it, Dane, about pointing out how Oopaville was getting like a lot of views from these videos, and Nick wasn't getting anything, like as far as like the comparison. And soon after, they stopped making content together. So I don't know if someone saw a video or what, or if they came to that conclusion themselves. But yeah, something happened. Weird, huh? It's my bad if I messed something up. All right, so we got demands for redemption. Creators and viewers alike began calling for an unveiling of Nick's true self and promised positivity following a redemption arc. But Nick's too smart for that. Nick knew better. Nick knew that if he stopped being the character and started just acting like a normal person, that all those views he was getting would just go away, and that's the deadly trap, right? There have been statements from Nick that would suggest he wants it too. If he's doing what viewers have said they wanted, why does no one care? Because I can tell you why. I can tell you exactly why. Because viewers, they say what they don't mean. They say the nice thing. They say, oh, I hope you get better. Oh, you're sick. Oh, take all the time you need. But when you take that time off, and they're
gone.
And they just don't come back.
Yeah. Play what you want. Play what you want. We'll watch it. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, do whatever you want. Yeah. I put a case cooking video up last week, and that thing did horrible. Anyway, Mary, what do you have for that?
Viewers said they wanted Nick to lose weight, calm down, and start following his passions again. And it would seem like deep down Nick wanted that for himself too. And so he started to. He slowed down on the uploads. He told his viewers that he was losing weight.
Really?
And this is the path forward that everyone wanted, right? So why does nobody care anymore?
Because it's
course,
content creation. There's a lot of good, like a lot of people.
Because it will become boring. Like, some people say that they cared about him. Maybe a couple of people did. But the majority of people, it was just a way for them to, just go through the day having a laugh, usually at him, So if you stop being entertaining, people just leave. I'm sure, like, when you become big, there are a few people who really do deeply care about you. But I am quite sure that the majority of viewers are only there for the entertainment. And whenever you're not entertaining, people just go. So asking somebody, oh, please take care of your health and become well adjusted mentally is it's a sound advice, but it's a bad advice if you want to make money, especially when you make money out of being crazy fat dude. Um, I'm trying to think of a nicer way to say it, but like I'm not dissing at fat people. Don't get me wrong. I mean, as in like extremely obsessed, like with eating food, and just showing off how much you enjoy being fat and unhealthy. Oh man, it's very hard to find a nice way to put it into words, but I guess I hope you guys get what I'm trying to say.
People that do it, they get paid a lot of money and they get to have their dream job, but there's also some very toxic aspects of it as well. And this is one of them. If you build an audience based on negativity and you try to change it to positivity, all the people that are there for the negativity
They
are gone.
will leave.
And for him to go on like a weight loss journey, they're only waiting for the end result and not the journey itself. So if he lost a bunch of weight and showed back up in a year and it was like, or 2 years and was like skinny, everyone would talk about it. But during that time of him trying to be better, nowhere near the amount of people that care about him destroying his body are going to be there to see him help himself.
Right, because it's boring.
So
Like, I don't find him, like, the character he created to be entertaining. I think I watched it once and I was extremely disgusted, so I just left really quick. But the people who are entertained, because he was famous, that people were entertained. He didn't create this character for nothing. It's because people responded positively. So we just went along the ride. It's like surfing, you're trying to catch the wave, and he caught a big wave. So he adjusted himself to the wave to make the wave bigger and bigger. So yeah. Some people have weird things they like. I don't know what people found entertaining about him, but he did. So anyway.
So, same old same. He's made no serious change to his content because why would he? He doesn't get rewarded for that.
Exactly.
It isn't new or interesting.
He's getting rewarded for bad behavior, so he's going to keep with the bad behavior. That's an easy math question.
Anymore. Everyone knows it's fake and it's just boring now. True. So Nick is kind of stuck in. We've talked about this before too, to where he is just doing the same thing over and over. Even on our channels, like what we're doing here with Mary is a new thing, and it's being received very well because you have to do new things. You have to evolve your content. You have to change it up into more interesting things. Like us just reacting, like watching something and us just reacting to it does not do as well as it used to. And us doing these informational videos that tell you about stuff that you don't care to go look up your own, but you're happy to watch a video about it, those do way better. And that's just what we have to evolve to. Nick, on the other hand, his evolution is I think he's peaked. I think he's reached his peak evolution.
Yeah, 2021 was his peak, and without some kind of serious change, it's got nowhere to go from here. So despite it seeming like Nick does want out from the mukbang world, he has not yet made that serious change to his content. His mukbang still involves screaming, crying, and overeating in excess, and it isn't new or innovative anymore. To the average person, it's just incredibly hard to watch. Just like his deliberate cutoff from veganism.
To the average person, it is really hard to watch. I guess I am the average person.
He needs to say F you to the mukbang community and throw himself into whatever his next phase of life will be. And if he doesn't, the only people left peering down to that deep, dark pit will be the people who don't want him to ever climb out.
I think Nick is waiting for a TLC show. That's what I think's happening. I think that's what he's going for. I think he's just holding out, waiting for that TLC show. Maybe he already's got one. Maybe that's why he's like being a little more quiet. Maybe he's got one going on, or not.
I can see him pushing Big Ed out the picture completely. You know what I mean? Out Big Ed goes, and in comes Nikocado. That's the move.
Him and Amber Lynn can have a duo thing. They can oh man, that'd be great. There you go, TLC. Put them together.
1,000-pound girls. I don't know.
It'd be their weight loss journey together. It'd be the new YouTube duo, and they would be so toxic to each other that it'd be freaking fantastic. Nick would be directly toxic, and then Amber Lynn would be like passive toxic. It'd be so good. And then it may ask you, like, well, why doesn't he do it? Well, we've kind of talked about it. Changing his content's hard. It's always hard to change your content. You have to do it slowly over time, or like breakneck changes rarely work out. It's a big risk. You think he's scared to show that vulnerability. I don't know if Nick's scared of anything, to be honest, but I do think he's kind of like in a spot that he finds comfortable and wants to keep it going as long as he can. But
I mean, but there's no envelope to push anymore. You know what I mean? Is that going to sustain him? You know?
Yeah, he already had his era of like wearing his oxygen mask every thumbnail. You know?
Yeah, I feel like committing to this change will be incredibly difficult for Nick, and that's because I really don't think he knows who he is or what sort of content he actually wants to create. He has spent his entire life putting on a show in order to protect himself from ever feeling truly vulnerable. It's easy to just quote Amberlynn Reid and scream and shout and act like an oversized toddler. And then when people tell you that they hate it, you just say, oh, well, they don't know the real me. My hope would be that he's saved enough money for himself that he can stop cold turkey and just disappear for a while. Spend 6 months or a year figuring himself out. And then if he wants to come back to YouTube, which I'm sure he will, because he is and always has been a performer, perhaps he will be able to return with a stronger sense of self and some more authenticity, and not just to sell merch, Gabby Hanna style.
You're so nice, Mary. Me and Dana over here like, oh, whatever, Nick, all right. Mary's like, I hope the best.
Oh, I truly do.
It's not like, none of this is beyond his control.
Oh,
is
no.
my opinion of it.
I
So it's like,
fully agree.
In a way, I see where Mary's coming from, though, right? Like with he's using the mask because he doesn't want to, he's vulnerable, doesn't want to show his true self because he might be rejected. But at the same time, he's using that mask to make a lot of money.
Yes,
So true.
exactly.
So at that point, you know what I'm saying? Like, take the mask off, forget about it. Who cares, bro? Like, you're going to be all right. He's going to be all right.
it's like, I understand, like, oh, he needs help or whatever like that. But he also, he smells it in the water. It's like blood in the water. He's a shark. Is that sympathy? Oh my God. And he doesn't need to be incentivized to do better for himself. Him just, the incentive is him being healthier or being in a better mental place and all that. It doesn't need to be the viewership that is the incentive. Like if he wants to lose weight and is not getting the views and doesn't do it, that shouldn't be the topic of conversation, because that's the whole trap and the whole reason that, in my opinion, he is where he is because that's the mindset.
I'm Nicocado'd out. You know what I mean? Like, we've seen the guy. He does the same thing. His viewership, I feel like they feel like the same. He's not pushing the envelope anymore. And they're kind of like, just be you because we want something different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how I feel. I'm just kind of waiting for something different from Nick.
Yeah, well, it's the same thumbnails every time. Like, look at these thumbnails.
You
Literally
guys
just the
are not
same
giving a good
thumbnails
message.
over and over.
If Nick is watching this, you're just like doing the thing that viewers do to make the situation worse. You need him to push the envelope more. You need to like make him crazier thumbnails.
I'm just saying that's how he's already. I'm just saying that's the audience he's built.
That is it. That is the third installment of Girl World from my beautiful wife, Mary. Thank you, Mary. Yay! That's it. Leave a like, leave a comment, do all that cool stuff. If today's your birthday, happy birthday. So, my friends, I love you. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
This